Welcome to the 2014 MEMS Executive Congress in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm Angie Kellen, and joining me is Rob O'Reilly of Analog Devices. How are you, Rob?
I'm excellent, Angie. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for taking the time out of the conference. First off, let's find out, how are you involved and what's your role at the MEMS Industry Group?
Well, Analog's been involved with the MEMS Industry Group for about 8 years now, and I was one of the first persons that they approached and said, let's get involved. It was a pretty small organization then. Over the past few years, I've been involved in the Technical Advisory Committee, the Open Architecture Group that we just formed. But it's been quite enlightening. It's been interesting to see the industry grow.
Well, we appreciate your efforts on all of that front, and this is certainly a fantastic Congress. One thing I'd like to ask you is, I know you were a moderator on a panel. Can you tell us a little bit about what the focus of the panel was and some maybe interesting discussions that came out of that?
I'd be glad to. It was a market focus panel, so we brought two of the industry market analysts in who usually banter against each other. This time I think they did a really good job of leveraging off of each other. But it was, the comment I made at the end of it was like drinking from a fire hose. There was a lot of information. There's a lot that's gone on in the industry, especially in the consumer industry, that I think for some people it's hard to hear. There was an illusion, I think, created over the past several years about how this nirvana was going to create. And it started to bottom out. And I think this was the first MEMS Congress where we started to hear that.
So a little bit of a reality check for people to kind of burst that.
It was awesome. I think the audience was a little surprised.
Wonderful. And that's what these conferences are for, right? To bring out, not only the great and the potential, but here's some challenges we need to get to before we can get to this fabulous potential. Yeah, the tendency is to always paint a rosier picture, I think, than reality. And the good news at the MEMS Congress is there's executives, and they need to hear this. They can take this back, and it will flow back into their organizations. Fantastic. Well, one more question before I let you head out back to the conference. What is your favorite part about the MEMS Executive Congress?
Well, it's twofold. I think the panels that we do, we tend to bring in the right people, the people that I guess you would probably put more faith in their opinions. So that's worked out really well. But it's the social aspect of it. I get to meet hundreds of people at all of these conferences. There's an awful lot that goes on external to the conference itself where we get to mingle a little bit more, and I think that's where a lot of the relationship building, a lot of the collaboration that we've been talking about, it actually forms in those little group settings that we get into, whether it's a dinner or just an after-dinner social.
Wonderful. Well, we appreciate your continued efforts on the Technology Advisory Committee, and I'm going to let you go back to the conference and enjoy the rest of it. Thank you so much for taking your time.
All right, thanks a lot, and thanks for having me.
Thank you. In Scottsdale, Arizona, Angie Kellen for the MEMS Industry Group.